You're still watching the Dealing Room. Back to earnings, and as promised, Rajan Verma from Dabur is with us. Mr. Verma, good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining in. Results are very strong. 23% top line growth, 30% bottom line growth. What can you tell us about what the rest of the year is looking like? Are you likely to maintain these kind of growth rates?
Well, as far as the bottom line is concerned, I think we will. I don't see it being maintained at the 30% level. But certainly it'll be into the high 20s as we see going into the remaining 3 quarters of the year. As far as the top line is concerned, once again the growth will be somewhere in the high and just below the 20 level mark. I think that's where we will probably be towards the end of this year. So I don't see we'll be able to sustain these sort of growths. These are normally we see it in our first quarter results that Dabur produces. So I think one really shouldn't read through for the rest of the year in this manner. So
would it be safe to say that sales growth you would expect more in the range of 17 to 19% and profits more in the range of say about 25% in terms of growth?
Well, we would hopefully expect to deliver that sort of results, yes.
Fair point. For the quarter gone by, Mr. Verma, you reported a 23% growth on the top line. Can you break this down for us as to how much of this growth came from pricing and how much from volumes?
Yeah. Of the 23 odd percent, 16% was the volume growth and the balance came out of the pricing. And in fact, this volume growth has been one of the highest that we've seen in the last 2 to 3 years. So I think it's been a very commendable performance in light of the overall situation that the general economic situation of the country is. And so I think this is something that we believe that we would like to continue with, accepting that we will have a few impediments as we move ahead in terms of the monsoon, etc. But I think that's what the growth has been over the last 3 months or so.
Morning, Mr. Verma. Your consumer care and foods business has grown from the mid-20s to the high 20s and between that range, whereas if you talk about the healthcare business, that's grown by just around 10%. What's the revenue mix right now between these three, and how do you see it shaping up? Will it remain largely similar?
Well, personal care as a overall group has been a large performer for Dabur over the last few quarters. And I think that is going to continue to remain in that way. However, we are just about now beginning to draft up a strategy for the healthcare part. And as you say that it has been lower than our personal care division. So over the next 3 to 9 months, we will see a new strategy for the healthcare area. And I think that also will become a star performer for the growth of this company over the next couple of years from now onwards.
Mr. Verma, I just want to deviate from the results just for one question and we'll come back. There was a piece of news that UTVI actually broke exclusively last night saying that the Kings 11 Punjab may be looking to offload anywhere between 15 to 25%. Given the fact that Mr. Mohit Burman is part owner of this team, can you share with us whether there is any truth to this fact, and if so, are there any active dialogues with potential investors?
The investment in the Kings 11 Punjab is a personal investment of Mr. Mohit Burman. There are no talks, to the best of my knowledge, that are happening anywhere with Dabur, and I don't see how Dabur would come into such a sponsorship because the whole competency of Dabur is not in that particular area.
No, I just asked since you were a business affiliate of his. Anyways, getting back to your results, sir, just a quick word on the retail side of the business as well. What is the rollout plan looking like, and any further investments that you're planning into the retail side, sir?
Well, as I have stated in the past, that we have a new revised strategy that is now in operation in the retail sector, and the results of that are beginning to show. We had losses of approximately 5 crores in the corresponding period last year, which have now come down to about 2.75 in this quarter. Yes, we have put in another 2.5 odd crores in the last 6 months. It will go another 2.5 crores odd will happen during the remaining part of this year.
So I'm just looking at your advertising expenses. They're up around 34-35% in the current quarter. Can you share with us what the thought process is as far as ad spends are concerned? Will this be the level of growth that you'll maintain for the rest of the year?
No. Yes, we've had actually an investment done in the ad probe, which has been higher than our normal average that we would be finishing the year with. I think some of the investments that have been made in some additional new products that we are just launched last year, like in the foods area, we launched Burst was one of the new products, so we put in some extra investments behind it. Now the average investment as an AS ratio to sales is going to be somewhere in the region of 15 to 16% on an average for the year. So one really shouldn't look at the high spends of this year continuing over the remaining 3 quarters.
Good luck with your business plans going forward. Thanks so much for joining in, Mr. Verma, this morning. That's a clarification coming in on Dabur's numbers for the quarter having gone by. We are within about 6 minutes of the markets opening up for trade this Tuesday morning. Shah is standing by with the sentiment check on how brokers are feeling and the trading calls as always. Shah, morning.
Very good morning, Rahul. The 3 calls the brokers have given today for intraday trade. Now, all of them are buy calls. That clearly makes it a positive sentiment coming from the brokers. The first one is a buy call on JSW Steel, and the target price that the brokers are looking at today on this one is at 698. Again, yesterday we saw that the stock ended the day at around 683 levels, so it gives it a very small 15-point upward target. And the stop loss that the brokers are given today on the same call is at 600.